So we are here for the final day of the Dayton Black Women's Film Festival.
Yes.
And man, it's amazing that we are at the end. We have been anticipating this for a long time at this point.
A very long time. I was telling you earlier, like, this has been something that has been blocked off on my calendar for months, and the fact that we did it, we did it. We're here.
We're here. Like I said, I was nervous to start, but so excited that once we started getting going, got a chance to do the Q&A with Brittany Shine yesterday, got a chance to do multiple interviews with the filmmakers from Wright State, as well as another local Black filmmaker, and just keep everything rolling and get reactions and all of that in real time has been very, very exciting.
I was telling my parents on the way here that, all you need is that one time, and the fact that this is our first time and it's in the books now. I'm just so grateful for this opportunity.
Yeah.
And to experience this as a whole, because it's something about being in Black spaces. Let's keep it real. Safe spaces where you are able to celebrate others and others can celebrate you. Yeah. It's just so affirming.
Yeah, and we'll be doing our own live events. So it's a great gateway into that.
Yes. I just love it when there's an idea and you're able to put it pen to paper and then make it become a reality. There's just something so powerful, something so divine in that.
Does it look okay? Okay. All right, so let's shift over and just give our reactions from the shorts program yesterday. So we got a chance to watch shorts from the Wright State filmmakers we talked about. Ange herself put in a short that we got a chance to view.
I was so excited to see her work.
Seriously. And then we even had some international shorts that we watched. So it was a full program.
Yes.
And Delora and I, we even did a little recap. We went out to lunch yesterday, chatted with our wonderful videographer Ronald, as well as my mom and one of her friends. Yes. And the main one that we all really talked about was that Jane Kennedy documentary.
Interception. Yes.
Amazing.
You want to try to say the young lady's name?
Yeah, I'm gonna try. So it is, I hope, Safiya Songe. And if that is incorrect, I am so sorry. But we loved that documentary short.
You did a phenomenal job.
Absolutely.
It would have been wonderful to meet her. I know not everyone was able to make it, but I love the fact that people were submitting their work.
Yeah. I mean, we even had one of the shorts internationally was from Barbados. Another one, I'm assuming maybe from somewhere in Africa.
Yeah, but they French speaking, so maybe.
Or Haiti.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. So it was. I just love the reach, right? It's an international film festival.
It is, but the Jane Kennedy documentary in particular, Jane Kennedy, I was embarrassed to say I did not know her story.
Girl!
First Black female sportscaster ever.
Nary a clue on who that woman was. I was like, who is this lady?
Yes.
And it was so funny because, to your point, I'm like, I thought I knew all the first.
Yeah.
But her story was so compelling. And I was telling you this in our conversations post watching it. It is something being the first.
Yeah.
And it's like, you always hear about the figurative glass ceiling, but we forget that when you're the first to burst through, you get cut.
Yeah. And may lack acknowledgement, because again, my mom and maybe that generation knew about her, but we didn't know about her, and she acknowledged the fact that some younger sportscasters don't give her flowers.
Exactly, not knowing what she had to go through, the fact that she was fired 3 times in a month, the emotional terrorism of that alone. Right?
Gloria Allred already doing her thing.
I was like, shout out to Gloria Allred, who has been putting in the work.
Putting in work. Fiery. If she's fiery now, can you imagine? Coming through those doors at CBS?
Because, I mean, again, we've benefited by the women who have been, in corporate since the 80s and the 90s. You know how many women I've spoken to in my career that would say, because in the spaces I'm in are predominantly men in a very real way in terms of engineering and tech. And I remember having a colleague tell me, she was like, oh yeah, they used to have the naked bikini girls in their cubicles. They didn't put those down into the late 90s. I was like, What? What?
They were Don Drapering it up in this mofo. Don was in his office getting drunk, taking naps, having affairs on his lunch break.
He's a wild boy.
Yes. Yes.
A shout out to the...
That's hilarious because I really used to think the most scandalous thing they did was smoke. Like, I had no idea.
Please. I mean, that's why we take sexual harassment training. Because they don't know how to talk to women. Oh my gosh.
I would hear tales, because I worked in media for so long, about how back in the day, like, it was no holds barred on the floor. Like, they would cuss each other out.
Yeah.
I said, I wish somebody would. This is a different generation, a different era. That would not, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But
I don't want to know how I'd handle it.
Shout out to Jane.
Yes.
She's gorgeous too. I mean,
one of Prince's girls back in her day.
Not trying to, minimize her by any means, but I'm just like, the fact that they were like, oh, we don't want her because she's not blonde. I'm like, have you seen this woman?
Yes. And when I say she was one of Prince's girls, she looked like it. Not that they had any type of a relation. I don't know.
No. But she talked about her relationship with Ali.
Yes.
And I was like, is she one of his wives? Because she's just like that gorgeous. Because he kept a baddie.
Yes, and he was a real one.
He was.
The fact that he made it a point to help her out by saying, I'm not going to be interviewed by anybody but Jane. Exactly. I mean, that's exceptional. But we know Muhammad Ali was that type of guy.
Yes. All right.
Brownies, exceptional.
Gorgeous.
Aisha Ford.
Gorgeous film. Well acted. Those young ladies were feisty.
Yes.
I love, and don't get me wrong, we can say it, but I hate when white people be like, oh, you're so fancy. But anyway, they had a fiery wildness about them that was so, sweet and genuine and youth. You know what I mean?
Yes, that was a tough shoot per Aisha because they had to do it during COVID.
Yes.
So the fact that those young ladies did their thing, justice for Snot, because
listen,
Snot had a heart of gold even at that young age. I was not always that kind, so I appreciate it. I see it.
Ashley, one of the running themes with the filmmakers during this festival is capturing Black girlhood.
Yes.
And I just love what we were able to discuss in Brownies, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes you make mistakes, and that's okay.
Yeah, and we didn't get any backstory for the young ladies to know their circumstances, and we're seeing a moment in time of their lives right at this camp. So it was beautifully shot, very well done. Executive produced by Spike Lee. You could tell.
Yes, you can absolutely tell.
We got a chance to talk to Aisha in advance, so she is one of the 3 filmmakers we talked to within conversation. So if you guys have not checked that out, check it out. She also did a wonderful Q&A that played, and she you could tell how lighted up she gets talking about this particular work that she's done, and it was amazing.
Let's talk about the Right State Spotlight.
Yes, love those girls. We got a chance to talk to them as well, and they all had phenomenal shorts. Inspirations for different ones. Airbnb kicked things off with a bang.
With
Sierra,
a bang,
turned it up.
I was like, I didn't know I was signing up for a horror film.
But at first, like I said to her, I didn't know if it was real or not.
Was this a documentary?
Yeah.
Well, in addition to that, it was hilarious.
It was hilarious.
I was not expecting that.
No, and we had 2 shorts from Brittany, Braylon, and Greedy. And I said, I don't know if it got recorded, but I said when I saw Braylon, it reminded me of Tiana Taylor in that Medea film, Byron. So that's what I envisioned it was going to be.
The fact that she's contributes such amazing performances, and that's one of the main ones people go for.
It was such a standout moment.
It was. I cannot wait for her film with Leo.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be good.
And Brittany really incorporated her family, which was beautiful.
Which I love. And you know what else I'm gonna say? I love that one of her goals is to make family-friendly films.
Absolutely.
We're so used to watching the debauchery of prestige television.
For sure.
Sometimes it's good to have a good wholesome show.
Yeah. For the kids.
For the children.
Family friendly for the kids.
Absolutely. I'm still wavering on what to introduce my child. I'm like, they do a little bit of cussing. We could probably introduce that. Just let her know it's a bad word, you know?
I mean, I don't have kids, but like, for my friends who do have kids, if they're gonna take them to see something and I've seen it, I'm like, okay, forewarning. Because like one of my girlfriends is like, oh, me and my daughter are gonna go see Sinners. I was like, okay, well there are 3 sex scenes.
No.
So how do you want to handle that? Because I don't have no kids, you know, I don't have to cover any eyes, so I don't know what we do.
But it's
as
so
parents.
funny. Part of my experience, though, my parents again were very strict on music. I wasn't allowed to listen to quote unquote secular music.
Yeah.
That was sexual, you know. Shout out to Sinners.
Girl, I was singing Pumps in the Bump back in the day. My dad put it in his sermon. I was like, sir, I'm in your car.
Listen, my parents claimed that they heard me singing Daisy Duke's song.
Look at that girl.
And they were like, oh, we're cutting this all off. It's acoustic Jesus guitar from now on. And that was my story until high school. But ask me, I watched all the movies.
All the movies. I'm out here in love with The Bodyguard.
Girl.
At 4. 5.
You know how many? One of my favorite films off the bat was Braveheart.
Yeah, and that's war,
sex, violence.
That's crazy.
Insanity.
That's crazy.
And ask me when I watched it, probably under the age of 10.
Exactly. And that's why I've said so many times in this podcast, y'all, and I will continue to say, I was robbed that I was not able to watch in living color. Robbed. Yeah. I watched everything else.
I watched in living color. Yeah. But I say all that to say, I'm kind of that way in my parenting too. I'm like, is she ready? No, we'll hold off a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair.
We watched Conclave together.
We did.
No, with my child. I watched Conclave
I was
with
like,
my
we
daughter.
did because we just recapped it.
Yeah.
But okay, got it. That feels safe.
Yeah, it was safe.
Yeah,
but
and it's history.
She was just like, she was getting invested. She was like, so why are they going back and forth?
You see, we're so connected. I'm like, wasn't I there for that experience?
Absolutely.
I thought I was there. All right, so Sierra also did Darkest Depths, which we talked to her about. We actually just got a chance to meet the actor. From that film.
Yep, her boyfriend.
He was amazing.
Shout out to him, aspiring actor.
And then we had Dear Diary, and we talked to Jalen about that one. Her first rom-com.
First of all, I appreciated the diversity in what we saw, right? We saw documentaries, horror, family friendly, and then I was not expecting romance. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I love this.
And the fact that she was like, I don't mind a cringy romance. That was cute.
The ending was so shocking because you're talking about a man who's been reading your diary and be like,
Yeah, it could have taken a turn. For anyone who's watching you, that could have taken a turn.
Absolutely.
No Joe Goldberg's over here.
Exactly.
And then Grandma's Garden.
Girl.
Angelina's.
Let's give these people a moment to leave.
Yeah, guys, we're live, so people are living. I literally was behind a whole crazy motorcycle gang. I don't want to say gang. That sounds crazy. A whole motorcycle fleet that was on the highway recently today. So I don't know what's going on, but they're out there.
It's a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day.
It's not raining. The sun is out. The temperatures are nice.
The temperature's like perfection.
It's perfect. Truly.
So, Grandma's Garden was exceptional in the fact that not only is the founder, who literally just popped up, that's hilarious, not only is it from Angelina, the founder of the festival, but also, just the legacy and the appreciation of your folks who came before you and the impact that has on your life, right?
Yes.
Beautifully shot, beautiful
Gorgeous
story.
I was completely floored by Angelina's grandma.
Absolutely.
And it's so funny because I told you this earlier. I'm like, of course Angelina is the way she is with a grandma like that. You know what I mean? Creating festivals and opportunities for people. And,
absolutely.
I have to say something, Ashley.
Okay.
I'd never seen a pastor preach from a wheelchair before.
Same.
And I was completely inspired and completely impressed with, the resiliency that her grandmother had in her life after facing such, medical hurdles.
Yeah, and also international legacy.
Yes.
Right? We're talking about her impact, opening up a church in India,
having a whale in
named
Africa.
after her, bruh.
I mean,
Goals.
Listen.
Reaching far beyond, because I
Yes.
think a lot of times when I think about impact, I'm like, yeah, I want to impact my community, I want to impact my family,
Yeah.
but like that level of reach,
Yes.
that's amazing. And then I didn't know her family was Revival Center Ministries. Like I have friends who went there for years. I was like, oh, Pastor Paul's your people. I had no idea. So it was definitely a great moment, but also, like I said, just impactful. And that's what so many of these shorts and these films that we've got a chance to see are, very impactful.
Yes.
And I'm so impressed with the level of talent that we have in Dayton that's coming out of the Right State program.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm just really impressed with, again, Angelina saw an opportunity. She was the only Black person in the film school. And now that she was able to showcase, I believe there were 4 or 3?
There were 3.
3
Yep.
young ladies.
Outside of Angelina. 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love that for us.
The last one I want to talk about was Superheroine, Ashley Coleman's short. We got a chance to chat with her after as well.
We did.
I love the idea of finding yourself, embracing
Yes.
your full identity.
We spoke to her about this, and it still remains true. It's like, you do not let the world tell you who you are. You tell the world who you are.
Yep.
You have that power, and I feel like a lot of us do not have that agency at a very young age. And so she talked about this in her film. You create these personas, you mold yourself to fit in certain boxes, but at the end of the day, you're depriving the world of you.
Indeed. And yourself, really.
Yes.
That internal life. But also, life is a journey.
It is.
So no
It
matter
is.
like how old you are, no matter what you've been through, you can still always figure it out, right? Like,
Yes.
And I love just the way that she wove the story together, where we get the stories of these other 2 women
Yes.
on the journey they've been on professionally.
Yep.
And then, she's wrapping us up with allow me to reintroduce myself. I think we're good.
So what else are we waiting on? Is this it? Or?
I think this was it.
We
Unless
can
we
go.
could catch Kayla, I think this was it.
But I think she's
Gonna be there until
busy,
the end, probably.
right.
So we can wrap it up, bro.
Yep.